what does your solutions engineering capability look like? And how do you think of SLAs? And
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
Brazilian Portuguese and Portuguese. That's so hard to do. So these folks add a lot of buzz in the market. And, one of our prospects will take a call with them and ask us, I saw they have this feature. And I'm like, but did you see the rest of their stack?
What do you do? And I know you already partially answered it by solving an entire problem, but what do you do about this? Is this an actual risk for businesses like yours right now in the AI time, or is it sort of a sideshow that doesn't? How would you respond to these kinds? When you see something like that, what does it make you think?
Udly started as an AI-powered public speaking coach, largely
Mm.
through my struggles. Right, I was like, 2 out of 3 people struggle with this problem. We've all been there as we talk out
Yeah.
loud to a mirror, a camera, a stopwatch. There's got to be a better way. Just build an ecosystem where people practice and watch themselves and record themselves and cringe and do that 3 more times. They'll get better. And AI role plays and experiential learning is an evolution from that.
Varun, welcome to Growth Stories. Man, I'm so happy to have you here. So you founded Udly, which is, I guess it's an experiential learning platform. Can you tell us a little bit, like, what is that?
Yeah, so if people hear me projecting a little extra, it's because of that. Udly is an experiential learning platform, which is we make learning fun, personalized, and practical. In the old way, the way we used to learn used to be by watching a passive video or maybe doing some multiple choice quiz or sitting in the back of a room. Instead, Udly is your private tutor that will go back and forth with you the way a human would and help you improve for any conversation.
And life is conversations, as you know, and business to me is just a stream of conversations. If you have a stream of conversations, you're in business. And I'm curious, like, of all the things you could do in conversational training, is there like a main use case for you guys that's primarily like that's the number one thing that people are using it for?
Yeah, our bread and butter is GTM enablement. So I'm a company like a Google or Databricks or Salesforce, Snowflake, and I need to train thousands and thousands of folks on new pricing, new packaging, how to talk about a competitor question, our new AI strategy. You can use Udly to create these experiential role plays and train your field at scale in a very short period of time.
Got it. And when you say like GTM, I'm thinking, is that pitches per se, or is that just making sure that everyone really understood what the change actually has
It's both. So
is both?
first, Udly, let's call it, I come to Google and then JM AI will tell me, Varun, welcome to Google. Here are the 5 things you need to know. Here's the pitch. Do you have any questions? So Udly will first help me understand the concept in a conversational way. And then Udly will say, great, Varun, now let's practice and make sure you can tell the Google story. For, I say GTM, but more broadly, any customer facing role, right? I'll have
Yeah.
a sales pitch, a renewal conversation, a partner discussion. How do I make sure people are ready and we're reducing ramp?
I love that. And what's the typical way that you guys measure the impact? Because I imagine, when we're talking about, especially Google, for Googlers, I'm sure there has to be a measurement component, but other, major like enterprise level clients, how are you showing the impact? Of course, it must make a difference, but how are you measuring it for them?
Yep, so 3 things. First is time to ramp. The second is manager time saved in role plays. And the third is win rates. So I'll break down each of them. Time to ramp. In the old days, I rolled out training a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks to make sure the field is certified. With Udly, I can do that in days. From the moment the product is shipped, I create this role play, I spread it to the field. I, as a leader, can now say, great, 95% of my reps can talk about the OpenAI objection, have the GCP story down pat, and can hit their talking points. Boom, boom. They're ready for game time. So that's one, that's the most obvious. The second is just manager time saved on the field. Each manager has, let's call it 8 to 10 direct reports. They need to do these role plays back and forth every week. Varun, you just bombed your call with Pfizer. Let me be the Pfizer buyer. Like battle test with me. Udly can be
Yeah.
that private batting cage. And then down the road, once folks use us enough and we have the CRM integration, you start seeing impacts within win rate.
I love that. Also, pro tip, don't put the new rep on Pfizer.
Yeah,
Give
that's, but the folks who join complicated enterprise selling are likely going to get something in that vein. So good luck.
That's true. Yeah, thrown in there somewhere. And man, there's so much going on right now in AI. You're part of the AI software right now, part of this boom that we're seeing. And I don't know. For me, it's super exciting. Like it's so exciting to see things change, but it's also a little bit nerve wracking to see the whole space change. We had the SaaS apocalypse a few weeks ago in the market. We're recording this in February 2026, and everybody saw some money evaporate virtually off the SaaS market. And I think a lot of people are afraid that it's getting easier to build SaaS and what the value of a SaaS company is. And then at the same time, we're also seeing that you can't vibe code your way to enterprise software. What's your take on the impact of AI right now?
Touche. To me, there's so much going around. What's your mode? What's going to happen when
Yeah.
Anthropic builds the same thing? And what do
Yeah.
public company multiples tell you? And like, I get so many questions from prospects, from VCs, from the
Yeah.
field. To me, it just boils down to who is your customer? What's their problem? And are you solving it? It does not matter what platform, what company, what product you are. And what GenAI enables is you can be much closer to your customer, much faster, track whether you're solving their problem, and that's the only thing that matters. So in our space, you asked about enterprise sales. It's I'm a large sales team and I need to get mission ready tomorrow. In the old
Mhm.
days, I had some leeway, but now I don't because my product team is shipping functionality every day and my competition is shipping even faster. How can I tell the story of my product? And we're like, great, use AI for that.
Yeah, I love that. And I'd love to hear your take on competitors and I'm not, I don't know how this happened, but I was, looking at ads and looking at Facebook, and I saw an ad for some kind of thing that I'm sure two kids spun up over the weekend. And it really looked like that. It was a great ad. And it was something like, oh, why are you manually reviewing your reps' calls? You should use AI for that. And I imagine a lot of people are already copy pasting transcripts into ChatGPT and like trading prompts or whatever for reviews. What do you do? And I know you already partially answered it by solving an entire problem, but what do you do about this? Is this an actual risk for businesses like yours right now in the AI time, or is it sort of a sideshow that doesn't? How would you respond to these when you see something like that? What does it make you think?
Great question. So first, just understanding the landscape. We are AI role plays, experiential learning. We have competitors on both ends of the spectrum. One
Mhm.
is the big dogs, right? OpenAI, Anthropic. What happens when the
Yeah.
LLMs choose to build this? All the way from what happens when a Salesforce or a Gong or a HighSpot or a Seismic, large incumbents choose to build something like this. So that's one part of the narrative.
Mhm.
The second part of the narrative is as a Gen AI application layer, what's your moat? Anyone
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
vibe code anything. They can even
Yeah.
get the integrations done really quickly. How does a company like Udly stay alive? First, on the former, which is more top of mind for me, is we have to be deeply verticalized. My entire belief is best in breed always wins, as opposed to a bundled solution. We need to play nice with the rest of the stack, but we need to have the absolute bestest, most killer role play experience in the market that is not just 50% better than what a bundled solution has. It has to be at least 80% better for folks to want best in breed. So the
Mhm.
bar is much higher. And what matters there is speed. How quickly are we continuing to iterate our technology? And we scale through integrations, live in the flow of work, be hyper personalized, customize, all the things you'd expect. On the former, on the latter, right, the vibe coded companies, they have the glitz and glam in terms of functionality, but the meat and potatoes of enterprise sales. What does your solutions engineering capability look like? And how do you think of SLAs? And
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
Brazilian Portuguese and Portugal Portuguese. That's so hard to do. So these folks add a lot of buzz in the market. And, one of our prospects will take a call with them and ask us, I saw they have this feature. And I'm like, but did you see the rest of their stack? But again,
It's
it
just two
boils,
guys, right?
but it doesn't matter, right? Even
Yeah.
we were two people.
Yeah.
I think it still boils down to fundamentals. Who's the user? What's their problem? Are you solving it elegantly?
I realized this was kind of a mean question. That was a really good answer. So thank you so much for that. And so where do you see Udly growing? Like, how do you intend to grow it this year? Now you have a little extra one runway, a tiny bit of breathing room since getting a Series B. What's, what's your plan for this year?
Yeah, it's been an exciting and a terrifying time. So we
Yeah.
raised our Series
Yeah.
A and B in a few months. We were 10 people. We're now 55 as of today in just a few months. I think people learn concepts by, the old way that we talked about. They practice stuff through reinforcement mechanisms, manager role plays, practicing in front of your mirror. and then they do the actual call on Riverside, on Gong, on Zoom, in person, etc.
Hmm.
Udly today is best in breed role plays. Use it to reinforce any learning and get ready for game time. What I am most excited about with our expansion to experiential learning is Udly is the platform in which you learn stuff. Right? We've talked about the GTM enablement use case where JM AI will come, walk me through the concepts, make sure I really understand the concepts, show me what a hero demo looks like, and then say, Varun, you share your screen and show me how you do this demo. No, Varun, you're watching slide 6, do that again, and then put me in a batting cage. I think that's very cool. But the dream that I'm most excited about is this just changes the future of learning. Right? The kid in
Hmm.
India, me not so long ago, is learning about the human nervous system not by reading some textbook and then doing a quiz. Instead, their instructor, this human instructor, does the thing, but then the AI coach is like, Varun, do you see the heart over here? Okay, great. And then do you see the pancreas under it? I'm by no means a bio guy. And do you see these 3 other things? Okay, great. Now talk to us about it. Now let's go back and forth, point over there. It just
Hmm.
makes it learning so much faster. In the sales world, we call it ramp, but this
Yeah,
extends to all parts of the world. I'll leave you with the last example here is, a large government, for instance, I can't say who, is using Udly to train all of the doctors in their country on difficult end of life conversations. It's the same
that's
problem.
awesome.
How do you
Yeah.
make sure people show up the right way, especially in high stakes discussions when there's certain rubric to follow, empathy to build, etc.
I love that. I love that. And just thinking of my own life, trying to get other people to change their behavior, like, as a manager or a leader, you're always at the end of the day, no matter if it's software, whatever you're doing, somebody has to do something differently in order for any results to occur. If you're e- even as an agency, your clients, you need to get your clients to take the right actions. I love seeing something that realistically could change, help people change their own behavior if they want to. This could help them. So I think it's really cool.
Udly started as an AI powered public speaking coach, largely
Mm,
through my struggles. Right? I was like, 2 out of 3 people struggle with this problem. We've all been there as we talk out
yeah.
loud to a mirror, a camera, a stopwatch. There's got to be a better way. Just build an ecosystem where people practice and watch themselves and record themselves and cringe and do that 3 more times. They'll get better. And AI role plays and experiential learning is an evolution from that.
Love it. Well, so as we wrap up, what would your advice be to other SaaS founders, other people trying to build real scalable businesses right now in this like wild time? What would your biggest advice be for their
Interesting.
success?
It's interesting. My entire theme centers around this. There is so much distraction out there. What model are you using, and how much are you paying employee number 5, and what equity offer did you give employee number 2, and what option
Yep.
pool did you negotiate during your raise? All of that's cool, but that does not matter. Who is your user, and what is their problem, and are you solving that? As long, and I think that's my role as founder and CEO, just be obsessed with the customer problem. Like that's it. If you
Yeah.
can go into calls, predict their problem, show them a solution, have them go, oh my God, have them share their screen when they're talking to you about how they're using the tool, figure out what's not working. Like that's what matters. The rest will
Yeah,
follow.
I love this. I love this so much because everyone gets excited about something new every year. I guess people need hope and new stuff. You can kind of pin your hopes to something new, but it seems like the most boringest fundamentals have the biggest impact for every business situation. Like whatever is the most dull, kind of boring point of view, usually is the biggest leverage.
I think so. And the reason I'm so opinionated on this is because I'm seeing our company grow. And I'm seeing
Yeah.
myself get pulled into board meetings and reviews and comp plans and OKRs. And I'm like, all of that is great. But you've got to stay close to your customer and deeply aware of their problem. And if you're not solving it, that's the only thing that matters. Like spend 100% of your time on that.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you so much, Farron. It's been a great conversation.
JM, such a pleasure. Thank you.
Cheers.